Hello guys. Just sending this to some people. My mods. Still trying to figure out what that is, but hey Greg. What you doing? Hello. I know that. I'm making fun of your tag name. Hello everyone, slowly coming in. Hello. I don't usually come on Saturdays, but it's been a bit of a pretty crazy week. So I didn't get to get on as much as I wanted to during the week. So here we are on a Saturday, guys. And if you hear my son in the background, his father's taking care of him. You might hear him be a little bit of a background noise, but we'll figure it out. How's everyone doing? They're slowly coming in. I haven't come on a Saturday, I don't think. Maybe in the beginning of my read days, but otherwise, this is pretty new to me. How do your readings work? So all my readings are completely free on TikTok. When I go TikTok live, at least. 4 readings. When it comes the time when I see that we have enough people on here, I will ask everyone to just post the relationship of the person that they want to connect to. Hi, Tori. How are you? I'll just ask you to post the relationship of the person that you want to connect to, and we will go from there. It's kind of whoever I'm drawn towards. So everyone has, the same amount of leverage and, chance to be able to get a reading. If you don't get a reading, because I can't do everyone's readings on here, then I would direct you to either my direct messages here or send me an email. My email is in my bio. Every reading that I do on live is actually recorded and it is posted on my YT page. So then, all of my readers and even maybe people who are possibly trying to book with me and you want to know what I'm all about, they are also on my YT page, so then you can kind of get a glimpse of how it goes. So yeah, thanks for asking. Again, I keep telling myself when I find more time, I'm going to make videos kind of explaining everything that I explain on my lives, so then I don't have to keep explaining, how they work, my journey, how to book with me, all those kinds of things. It's just rough being a full-time working mom and a mom to a almost 2-year-old, guys. I'm actually a little sad that I have to say almost 2-year-old now. It's crazy how much time is flying. It's flying, but it's also going slowly. Okay. All right. And again, guys, I'm seeing all of your messages. I will let you know when I'm ready to kind of dive into things. I kind of just wait for a decent amount of people to jump on before I start asking for relationships to see if who I'm drawn to. Because my long-term partner. I'm so sorry for your loss, Megan. I'm so sorry for all of your losses, guys. Hi. Hold my name down, okay. It's not saying anything. Interesting. I am holding your name down, Shayna. Is it the Mark Viewer? I'm guessing. Is it the Mark Viewer thing, Shayna? Sorry, guys, trying to figure some stuff out. I'm not so TikTok savvy. And Shayna here is trying to help me out, guys. So everyone give a shout out to Shayna. I think so. Okay. Hopefully that worked. It didn't say anything else. It didn't say anything like mod-wise. Oh, moderators, okay. Add moderators. Oh, I can add you. Let's see. Ah, I just added one. I just added you, Shayna. Okay. Okay, I think I added you. Let me know. It worked? Okay, perfect. Awesome, guys. Cool. I'm getting the hang of it, guys. Are you proud of me? Tyler Sage is exhausting. Tori, yes. It really is. And it's so funny because like you always say like, oh, I want to get out of the newborn trenches. And then you get out of it and then you're like, oh, they're one, but like they're not so independent. I want them to be a little more independent so I can get some freedom. And then they get independent and then they start running your lives. And it's like, okay, do I want to keep moving forward and wish that he's so old to where like he's really not independent / dependent, Sour Patch Toddler 2, like terrible twos kind of thing? Or do I want to actually go backwards and like kick myself in the butt for wishing that I got out of that? Hi, Carrie. So I don't do specific questions during my lives. I always say that if you get a reading, you know, when we're connecting to your spirits and the loved one, any questions that you may have usually get answered during your reading because spirit knows what you kind of need. Only because I kind of connect with spirits on like a deeper level. So I hope that helps. All right, guys. So I am going to start. So in order for you guys to get a reading, again, everything's completely free on TikTok Live, always free. If there's someone you want me to connect to, I have a couple of ground rules. No specifics in the chat. Just because there are some people lurking, kind of trying to get the details about you. Also, it's not fair to you that, you know, if I have something coming through and you said it in the chat, that kind of is disingenuous to what I'm saying, especially if that's how your loved one's trying to connect with you and validate that they are here around you doing what they need to do. So try to keep things vague. Yes, no. You can explain after I've already said something, but don't say something that I haven't said already. Just put the relationship of the person you're with. Again, don't try to put any names or anything like that. Again, allow spirit to kind of bring those things up if that's how they want to connect with you. I also want you guys to keep an open mind that not only is there some things that, you know, you might not know right now and you might remember later on. That's kind of why I record my recordings. And again, you can go on my YT page to kind of go back, or feel free to record this yourself or write things down, kind of a thing. But the biggest thing is that there's sometimes they're going to say things that, oh, they didn't like the color blue. I don't know if they are not connected to the color blue, a flower, any of that. And then you go and realize that, oh, they were talking about their mother. Their mother loved blue flowers and had blue flowers in her room and all this other stuff. And it's like, sometimes it takes stepping and looking outside of the box. And a lot of times it's because we're so hyper focused on the reading that we have and like hearing everything that they have to say. So that's why I say, you know, keep an open mind. And again, sometimes the relationship with the person that you want to speak to might not come through and it might be someone else. We can either redirect it to the person you want to talk to, or we can see what that loved one has to say for you. Okay? So go ahead, guys, put the relationship of the person that you want to speak to in the reading. Whoever spirit draws me to is who I will go with. Again, I wish I can read for everyone. I do have private readings available. You guys can just message me, direct message here, or it's best if you just email me directly. The link is in my bio for my email. It's Gmail. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that without getting banned, and it's the same as my TikTok handle. So it's nice and easy. Same as my YT page, same thing, that's also in my bio. Again, if you hear any children in the background, it is my son. He's being watched by his father. Shayna, you're the best. Thank you. Hey, Nicole, are you still here? Nicole, Renee? I think that's what it was. I'm trying to see. Nicole Renee. Was it Nicole Renee? Nicole Renee. Are you still here? Well, obviously you're still here. Okay, hun. I think you wanted to connect to Dad. Is that... Let me write your name so I know which notes are for you. Don't want to send you the wrong notes. Also, guys, whatever I doodle down here, I kind of do sketches, doodles, lines, drawings, kind of whatever helps me put the pieces of the puzzle together when connecting on a piece of paper, and I do send those to you through direct messages. If direct message doesn't work, because sometimes in different countries it doesn't work. I had a few people that are from the UK and I couldn't send them messages. I will then just ask you for your email so I can send it in your email. No worries, Shayna, you're good. All right, so Nicole, are you ready? Have you ever been on my lives before, Nicole? Do not feel some type of way, guys, if I don't recognize you or maybe have talked to you in the past. Okay, only because I kind of black out during these readings. I can't recall certain information, and I feel like it's because the things that I'm saying aren't directly from me. They're from your loved ones on the other side. So don't feel offended if I don't remember certain conversations I've had with you or your name. Nicole, you never had like a reading from me though, have you? No. Okay. All right. I was going to say, because usually Spirit won't direct me towards someone I've already talked to unless they reach out to me personally. Okay, so I'm going to be silent for a little bit. I'm going to see what kind of evidence I can get from Dad, and then I will be back here, and we will try and see if that's who I'm connected with, okay? All right, guys, just give me a moment here. Okay. I do have a older male here with me. He does feel as a very gentle soul. I do have the feeling that he is a very soft person. Like he really shows me like this gentleness to him immediately, which doesn't happen often, but immediately after connecting with him, I had like an instant smile. I don't know if you even can see it on here. I don't know how far down I was looking. He just like all around, I get like an instant sadness to his passing. I get a big shakiness in my voice when talking about this, so I feel as though this is definitely still very raw for you. But some other things of evidence that he had came through. He did talk about some type of health issues or possibly a decline. I do feel as though there was a weakness component as well, because he kind of just makes me feel drained. He makes me feel weak. I feel as though I keep trying to like also like kind of catch my breath a little bit, so I don't know if that would make sense for him as well. But specifics to him, he kind of showed me like the softness about him. I feel as though he was very old school. He was like a simple man. I feel as though he talks about being kind of like minimalistic, to where it's like he didn't need much. He was kind of very simple type of person. Definitely a person I can go to, someone I could find comfort in. He did kind of show me music. And music kind of for me, usually people will show me like musical notes for type of music, but for me, he sent me music paired with like possibly like guitar. Again, that could just be music in general, but I thought maybe since it was so detailed, of like a detailed like guitar. I also feel as though, I can't tell if the feeling he's showing me with the whole softness music and saying like simple man, I feel as though he may have had like, not like a countryside to him, but like I feel like he kind of showed me, it kind of feels like sitting around by the fire, like kind of comfort. So I don't know if like it's more of a lifestyle or if that was just, you know, the simplicity about him. Let me know and list all of the things that I got right with this. Is this for Renee? Yes, this is for Nicole Renee, guys. So just let me know what you can take out of this. I love music so much. Yeah, and it's so funny because he showed me music, but he like showed me a guitar. And usually when people show me music, they kind of show me music notes. I don't know if you ever see my videos or whatever, but I've never had a guitar come up, and it is country music. Okay, so again, he showed me like the wood, like it was like a country feel, and he showed me the guitar. Literally like sitting around a fire, like I kind of felt like I wanted to sing like a I don't know, I'm not like a country music person myself, but like I kind of felt like I was into it like for a moment. So do you think that we are with Dad here with this information then? And you love music so much. I love that. Sit and just listen to music together. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Can you take everything else? Could you take, how about the health aspects? Did he have some health issues and have like some sort of decline and like weakness or something that just kind of like, it just felt like drained. Like I just felt like super heavy, and I felt like, it just felt like, you know, it was like there was issues going on. I don't feel like this was something that was like completely instantaneous. I do feel as though he did kind of get like a week sent to him. All of a sudden he wasn't. Yeah, it just feels like he just wasn't himself. I feel as though he's kind of bringing up, I feel as though he's kind of person who, would he often kind of not tell people things, or like, is he the kind of person that would experience things and then maybe not say anything because he didn't want to feel like a burden? He may have even didn't want, I don't know what this feeling is. It's either he didn't want to feel like a burden, or he didn't like, it's kind of like he didn't want to have to go down that route, kind of like, I don't know, it's like he didn't say what he wanted to say because he didn't want to know what the answers would be. Like it was like he was yeah, and he like, and it just felt like that. Because I feel as though there may have been things that were going on that he didn't come forward about right away, or there's just some things that like he was just explaining how like he just didn't tell anybody right away. It's kind of like he was putting things off. I feel as though he was also one that kind of, and it wasn't again to like try to keep things from people. I just feel as though like he didn't even feel as though it was serious himself too. Like there's people that sit there and they're hypochondriacs, and aka me, who Google everything that they have going on. It's like, oh, something's going on. Or there's someone that's like, nah, it's okay. Like there's nothing wrong. Like, you know, it'll be fine. Like I could, you know, I don't need to deal with this right now. It's not serious, you know. And I don't even know if there's like a financial component to it, but I just feel like there was issues going on with him and his health, and they weren't addressed right away. He postponed the doctor for a while, yeah. And that's exactly kind of what he's showing me here. Was Dad kind of a person that kind of hid his true emotions with like trying to like joke around? Because he's kind of showing me that like if someone was mad at him or angry with him or like something was going on, he would try to like cheer the, like out of, you know, tension or awkwardness kind of a thing, he would like maybe say a joke or two to kind of try and take the tense out and try to like bring a smile forward. Because he's kind of giving me the scenario here to where like if someone was feeling a type of way or he felt like, you know, he saddened someone or something's going on, it's kind of like he would say something to like kind of lighten the mood. And I feel as though this kind of happened around the time that he was kind of explaining himself with things. And he just keeps saying he does like little jokes. But I feel like he is also a man to other people, at least, and not to you. He was a man of little words. Okay, yeah. I feel as though unless you knew him personally, he definitely was not someone who wanted to, you know, he was very introverted, on the sense that he, you know, out in public, he wouldn't sit there and go, you know, he would hate the thought of like causing something in public or someone like noticing him or any type of public attention. I feel as though he was also a man of few words to, you know, acquaintances and people at the store and stuff like that. But like if you knew him, you know, he would be comfortable with you, then he would talk. But I feel as though he wasn't a very talkative person. He kind of gives me like very introverted, kind of showing me like a turtle. He's like, you know, and I feel as though it's this, that's also just like the simple man about him. He kind of just, he's kind of showing me like he's a simple man where he wakes up, does what you got to do. No reason to complain about anything. Do what you got to get done. Get home to family. Live a simple life. Have a happy life. That kind of a thing. Like he never seemed like he needed to be the one to get attention. He didn't need to be the loudest one in the room. He didn't need all of the world's friends. Like he wanted a simple life. He loved it, and he loved the people that he had around him. But I also feel as though he's kind of saying that maybe even people don't get him only because he's only very open to the people he's very close with. I feel as though he was not very open to many people. Just make sure that this is making sense for you guys. I know I talk a lot, but they give me a lot of information a lot. I also feel as though he was a hardworking man as well. He kind of shows me like he showed up for work, you know, did what he needed to do, didn't really complain. And he's showing me boots for some reason, which usually is my symbolicism to where like hard work, and like he was like, you know, he didn't have like some type of like, you know, like he had a hard working job. It may have even included boots, but he's definitely showing me boots. I feel as though he was also anti-confrontation as well. It just seems to me that he's not confrontational. And also, was there something going on with the throat? It feels as though I have like a dryness in my throat, so this could mean that he had a problem with his throat. A lot of times it's when people have oxygen or like a trach of some sort, something in the hospital, but something with dryness of the throat. Okay. And I feel as though these were the symptoms that he was having that he didn't tell people about. So when we had talked about things that he, you know, kind of postponed, was it things directed towards the esophagus. Yes, okay. Do you know if on any medications or anything that he was on in the hospital that he got like a trembling, shaky feeling? If not, if you're shaky and trembling, please let me know, because sometimes I will come up with feelings that are actually my sitters, which is, you know, you. So if you have this, that's fine. But he is bringing me and showing me, like, I do feel very jittery and like very shaky. And I don't know if it's from any medical treatment he received or it's from the weakness, but I do feel like a shaken or trembling feeling as well. Oh my God, my handwriting is atrocious today. Oh, well, that would be the shakiness. Oh yeah. And I think that's the portion that I had talked about before, to where like he just didn't feel himself, and I feel as though he didn't like that. He keeps also making me hold my nose, so I don't know if he had a problem with like smelling as well, if he was sensitive to smell or something. I don't know why, but I just did that twice, and I don't normally hold my nose like that, so I'm just gonna put that down as well. Smelling a nose, just in case. I put down everything, guys, because you never know how they make you feel, smell, taste, all that kind of thing. I feel as though I keep trying to tell him, like, let's, you know, get out of this. I'm also, I don't get letters very often, but I did earlier draw a shape that looks like an L, and now I'm also getting an L popping up as well. Okay, yeah, he's showing me the nose. Yeah. There you go. That's why he's making me hold my nose here. And I know from a medical standpoint, back when I was working in the hospital, that when it comes to oxygen in your nose and throat, and even being a patient myself many times, it is more irritating than you would ever know. If anyone else is here and has ever had to have oxygen in their nose or their mouth or anything, it is absolutely terrible. It feels dry. It feels like ticklish. It makes you want to just scratch your nose completely. It honestly feels like it's burning your brain sometimes. So I can get why he feels that way. Yeah, he's definitely showing me like dry. And look, I keep like, and I don't have any like, yeah, he definitely is making me feel everything that he felt. Also, I'm going to write it down for you. Are you also more leaning towards like tomboyish versus like girly girl by chance? And this has never come up either, but he's kind of showing me like tomboyish vibes. And he's kind of joking about it. Let me see it. When I was a young teenager, okay. Because he's kind of joking about it. It's kind of like, he kind of says like he doesn't know what he would have done if you were like a girly girl growing up, because he knows nothing about like girly girl stuff. And I feel as though he loved that he was able to connect with you, but I also feel as though your dad was like your world. It kind of seems to me that you even gravitated closer to like a daddy's girl versus than even a mommy's girl. Yeah. He's giving me those vibes, and I feel as though, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is also, you know, they can kind of feel all the things that you felt as well. So you may have never told him, but he knows now. Were there things that you used to do just to get closer to dad? Like, I feel as though there were some hobbies that maybe he would have done, and like you wanted to be a part of those hobbies or like be interested in those things because you liked spending time with dad and you wanted to be around dad, because that's what he's showing. He's like, I know now, and he says he knew then too, and he enjoyed it as well. And I think he also says that he wishes that he actually got to spend even more time with you, because I feel like he'd worked a lot. He may have not always been home. I feel as though he had a lot going on with work and, even just like, basic life stuff like finances and all that stuff. And I feel as though he had a big financial like burden with like, having to have a job and work and maybe even overtime at some points, to where he couldn't always be present in those senses, but he did love the connection that you guys did have. Let me know if that makes sense as well. Oh yeah, every girl loves attention from their dad. I think people always talk about mother and daughters having important relationships, but I do feel as though it is very important for a daughter to have a relationship with her dad. And I feel as though we all want close relationships with our parents. It doesn't always go that way. But I think, parents are the most important people in your lives. He worked a lot and he was away for 20 years. Okay. Yeah, it just seems as though it's like he treasures the time that he did have with you. And I feel as though you were angry a lot about his distance as well. Don't mind, guys. I swear my husband's with my son if you can hear him yelling. I don't know how much you guys can hear on here. But I feel as though there was a lot of anger towards this, and my light is flickering. And that never does that, and I hope it's not my power about to go out because of the wind. Hopefully it's spirit. You never thought anyone would talk and wish that light flickering would be spirit or anything, guys, but I really don't want my power to go out. It's like -10 degrees wind chill right now where I am. So, but yeah, he kind of talks about like he's very apologetic, and he says he's sorry about the distance, about the time away. He's talking about do you have something of your dad's or some sort of pictures, because he's kind of showing me like a rectangle, and and he's talking about like keepsakes, and I feel as though this could be pictures or actual like keepsakes. I need to start writing this stuff down. See, I start talking with my hands, guys, and then I stop writing things down. Let's see. You do have stuff of his, okay. So it's he's kind of showing me that do you have something of his that like maybe even has his scent, because he's talking about a smell. So I don't know if the smell, because he's telling me this directly after keepsakes, or he's telling me because there's like a specific smell that you might smell around you, but there's a specific scent of his. Let me know if that makes sense. Hi Eliza, how are you? His clothes, I smell them every day. Okay, yeah, so he knows, and he wants to validate that he knows that you do this, and he knows that you have his scent, and he's so absolutely grateful that you have that, and that's something that you can connect with and something that you can feel closer to him with, because on the other side, you guys are grieving, but they kind of see your grief, and they want to comfort you as well as much as they can, and this is why spirits come to visit you guys every day. This is why they visit us in our dreams. They visit us because, in the forms of butterflies, of birds, and all those kinds of things. And it's because they know that it comforts us when they are around. And he's absolutely, he's bringing that up because he definitely loves that it comforts you. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. I feel as though, yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead. Hi, Eliza. Not good. How do you get a connection with the past loved one? Eliza, I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like how do you get a reading? Okay. That's super strange. So I was literally just gonna say, has he been messing with you often? And I hope you guys can go to my YT page and see what I said before you asked that question. I said, does he? And that's literally what I was going to say. And again, this is why I tell you guys often that they answer your questions that you may have during your readings. And I said that today to someone who posted it. And literally the words that were about to come out of my mouth were, does he mess with you often? Because I know we just talked about his scent, but he kind of told me that he messes around. So I'm going to take that as a yes, because it's exactly what he just said. Let me see if he could tell me something more specifically. That's so crazy. That's crazy, and that's literally was him. Let me see if he can like tell me something specific. Oh, I wish I would have said it before you asked that question. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I don't know if that has anything to do with what we were just talking about. Whew. Would this light be on like a dresser of some sorts? He's showing me dresser, but he's also showing me something else. I don't know if this is in your daughter's room or it resonates with you at all. He's talking about ladybug. Hi, Jordan. The best way is by, how to connect with spirit. How do I get a reading? So, yeah, ladybug he brought up. I'm not sure. So I'm guessing your question mark means you don't know. I will, circle that. If that's the one thing you can't take, I'll take it. But yes, he did say ladybug, but he did talk about a dresser of some sort. So I don't know if there's a dresser that was connected with this light. Like, was it, some type of light on a dresser? Cause he's showing me, something on top of a dresser in a room. And sorry, this is why I try so hard to answer your guys' questions while I'm doing a reading, because I'm like two minds at once. The best way to get a reading is that when I am finished with the person that I'm speaking with now, I will then ask you guys to comment the relationship of the person that you want to speak to, and whoever I'm drawn to is who gets the reading. They're all free. If you don't get a reading on here, still want a reading from me, then yes, go ahead, direct message me, send me an email, that sort of thing, and we can try and connect another way. My email is in my bio. My dresser's in my closet, and every night I hear something in my closet. Okay, yep, so he's messing with you with that too. That's what he brought up. He brought up dresser. Oh God, don't mind my handwriting, guys. It's so bad when I'm doing readings, so bad, because I'm not even looking when I'm writing on the paper. Like this one, the words kind of combined into one word. Yeah, he's messing with you. And that's why he wrote the dresser. Absolutely. Is someone into sports? I miss him so much. Oh, I know, Nicole. I can feel it. Trust me, I can feel it. Was someone into sports? I don't know why, but he's showing me like sports. He's showing me like a goal post or whatever he used to be. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to circle that. So the only thing that you really couldn't take from this reading was that ladybug thing. I circled it for you. You're really good at basketball. That's probably... He's showing me a pole. Literally some pole, something around it. But the only thing that you couldn't take was the ladybug. I did circle that. Let me know if you figure out what that's about. And you throw a football really good. Okay. And again, he's showing a lot of love for that, because I feel as though, like, again, those are like the things that he was able to connect with you on that as well. Maybe you'll find a ladybug. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. But I will circle that. I will also send you all the notes for my reading. Guys, also, if you ever get a reading from me, you have a reading, I do have a feedback post on my profile. I created it just so that people who were kind of, you know, looking around at different mediums to see who they connected with, they can kind of look at feedback from other, you know, people that have gotten readings from me. So feel free to post a little comment there. I will send you a picture of all your notes. I will send it in your DMs. If I don't get to you by tonight, or tomorrow, please message me, because my brain has been mashed potatoes since I've had my son, so I am very forgetful. I'm gonna leave his love and light with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with him. I know how vulnerable it can be to have a reading live with other people watching, so I am very grateful that you allowed me to connect with him. He was so sweet. Oh, of course, of course. Thank you so much. And thank you guys, everyone who's kind of sticking around and watching us as we're talking. Okay. So, how's everyone else's night going? Hi guys, hi guys. In between readings, I usually take a couple minutes to kind of decompress and kind of wait for the spirit to kind of cross back over to the other side, only because sometimes they can mash with the next spirit. So I take a couple of minutes just doing some questions and trying to reboot before we go to our next reading. Oh, thank you. I did just get an email, Eliza. I was just going to say, I did just get an email, Eliza. I'm too afraid to read it right now because I don't know if it'll, like, close my live, but I will read it after here. Thank you. Yes, I did just get it. It actually came up as your name, so that's perfect. Yes, I promise I will read it after this live. And I will get right back to you. Yeah, so how is your guys' night? I can hear the wind from where I'm at. It's absolutely insane. Oh my gosh, what the heck? New here. Hi! Love new friends here. Where are you located? I'm in Pennsylvania. How's your night? Very windy and cold. We have like a -10 wind chill here, and it's like hasn't been like this cold in like decades. And I can feel like things hidden against my windows. Oh, I used to crochet, and then I had a child and I stopped having time. I actually used to make the gosh, I'm gonna botch the name. I'm not even gonna say the name. I used to crochet the animals that were all over like TikTok for a while. Yeah, I used to do them and I loved them. The Amagurumi animals. I don't know how to say it, but I did love to do that. And I used to make them for people, and then, yeah, then I had my son and I stopped. So, just have time. 6-year-old, honey, please tell me you're not going to finally have time to yourself when they're 6, because mine is turning 2 soon. So I'm still at 1. You're in PA too? Oh, the long socks though. That's probably so cute. Freezing? Okay, so we're just all freezing here up on the East Coast, huh, guys? Insanity. Mine's almost 8. Oh, 8. So, oof. You're starting to head towards those teenage years. Yikes. So cold, -3. Oh yeah, so we're just all freezing on our Saturday night, guys. 2 is a fun age, so the personality start to shine. Oh yeah, he's absolutely insane, this kid. The thing is though, is that when I was a kid, I was the same way. He's literally my twin in so many ways, but he's also his father's twin in so many ways too. So he's literally just a combo of both of us, which we should have saw coming, to be honest. Someone did ask about how I started this. How did I get into this or something? Oof. Yeah, so for those wondering how I got into this, I kind of was always sensitive as a kid. And without going into like a whole half-hour tangent, again, I'm gonna try and make a video and add it to my TikTok, so when people ask me on here, I could be like, hey, check out my video. I just haven't had time, and the one that I did record, my son is in the background asking for me to breastfeed him, so can't post that one. So but basically I was sensitive as a kid, always saw spirits with like fear, had fear around it. And then just other instances happened throughout my life. Then I had my son, and it was kind of like my spiritual awakening. They always say that like some big dramatic thing that happens to you, which his birth was pretty traumatic, but also a big shift in my life, and you know, a lot of positive ways, and medically a lot of negative ways as well. It was very scary, but I think a big shift in my life caused the spiritual awakening, and it came full force, and I started seeing people in my home. And again, I directed it with fear. I was afraid that I was going to bring something negative into my son's life. Again, he was a baby at this point, newborn. And we had just moved into this house. I didn't know if this house was haunted. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I ended up reaching out to someone who was a healer, someone who could kind of check out my house, make sure it wasn't haunted, kind of try to teach me how to shut it off, because I knew what was going on, because I had been told before during like a psychic medium during like a party, that I was going to have these abilities. And again, out of fear, I didn't want to do it. So I went to this healer. She taught me how to like protect myself, how to turn it off. And I don't think spirit liked that very much, because then it kind of got worse and stronger. And eventually I was just like, you know what? This is just what the plan was, apparently. We don't, plans are just plans. So I wasn't planning on doing this. I would have never even guessed that I would be doing this, and here we are. So again, a plan is just that, guys. Oh, my ring. Oh, thank you so much. Don't mind my burn hand. I burn my hand a lot when I do my hair. I get burnt a lot. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh no, thank you guys. Are you religious? If you don't, so I'm not religious in a sense to where like I just am anti-religion. I just wasn't brought up religious. My parents were never religious. My parents both had really hard times growing up, so I feel as though even if their families were religious, they just kind of didn't continue that because of everything that they had gone through as, you know, in their childhood, just, you know. So I wasn't brought up around that, you know. I never went to church, didn't really know much. I did go to a university that was actually Catholic, and I remember taking religious courses because you have to take, I think it was, you had to take 2 courses in a span of 2 years on like religion because of the school. And I remember everyone else who was there and who was Catholic was like, oh, this is so easy, we learned this in, what is it, CCD and all that stuff. And I'm sitting here like 5 books deep, friggin' staying up until 3 a.m. and I'm just like asking, I'm like, who is Jesus? Like, I knew absolutely nothing when it came to religion. So again, it's not that I'm anti, it's just I never was brought up around it. But I've always been very spiritual. I always knew that there was something after here. Again, I had a lot of ghost occurrences, you would say, as a kid, and I had a lot of spiritual things. I was always gravitated to the spiritual world. So I guess that's my religion. I don't really know. And yes, I am from Pennsylvania. Yes. Yes. I don't know how to see if you're following me or not. I can check after here. But I don't know how to check that. I'm gonna write your name down. Again, I'm not very TikTok savvy, guys. I'm good with like technical stuff and like phones and all that stuff, but for some reason there's so much more to TikTok than you think. But TikTok's very glitchy tonight. Okay, maybe they're having some wind issues too at their like headquarters or something. No disrespect, just curious. What do you think your gifts come from God or another source? I feel as though the way that Spirit tells me is everyone has gifts. Everyone has the ability to speak to the other side, because the other side is literally us. We all have souls, and the other side is just all souls. What we're in right here, this is just a body. This is just a body, and we're here in the physical world, and there's a whole other world in a different realm that you go to one day, and we all have the ability to speak to spirit. It all depends on how sensitive you are, how open you are to it. Fear a lot of times will keep it away and keep it unhinged, I'd say. But I feel as though most people who really strive and want to get to this point and want to be able to talk to spirit, all it takes is putting time and energy and focus into that, doing the research, opening yourselves up, doing meditation. Like, I feel as though everyone can get to this point if they really wanted to. So I don't feel like there was someone up there who's handpicking people to do this. I just feel as though some people were just connected that way. And I feel as though my upbringing, you know, having such an open mind because I didn't have a direct religion to something, maybe is the reason that I have sensitivity to it, because I was drawn to it. I feel as though they say a lot of kids are very sensitive to the spiritual world, and then it's like they get older and they lose that sense of themselves because they learn about the world, they learn about religions, they learn about how ghosts aren't real. And I feel as their super open, spongy mind just kind of starts to get closed off as they get older. And I feel as though some of us believe it from the very beginning, and then we keep believing, and we are so open to it, and our third eye is completely open. So I feel as though everyone can get to this. So I don't think that people are handpicked from this. And I know many very strict religious people who do this. I do. There are a lot of people. Teresa Caputo, I'm pretty sure, is religious. I don't know her much, but I'm pretty sure she's religious. And look at her. And I don't want to keep saying multiple people. I'm not going to name people here on TikTok because that's their business. But I do know some people here on TikTok who are mediums who are also very religious. So no, I don't think that you have to be anti anything to kind of do it. So the realm for me is just the other side. It's kind of, I feel as though the other side is here. I feel as though we're all in the same room, we're in the same space. It's just that it's kind of like, because there's like a science side to things too. I feel as though it's just, you just can't see, or it's like the other side. I don't think truly anyone 100% is going to know unless they're already on the other side. They probably have all the answers. But I feel as though our loved ones are all around us, because I feel as though the spiritual world is around us. I don't feel like it's a different planet that's like millions of miles away. I feel as though they're all around us, and they're here in matter versus physical force that you can see with your eyes. And I feel as though some people who are more sensitive can see them. Do you think scientists know more about the other realm? Again, I think the other realm has everything to do with people's openness to it. And I feel as though a lot of scientists, the scientists you and I know, they're not as open to it because they are one-sided in their beliefs. You know, a lot of scientists can be like stubborn-headed. So I feel as though, no one's going to have 100% the answers. And I just feel as though as long as you're open to all of the different things and you can't completely cut things off and be like, no way, that couldn't happen. A lot of things happen. You know what I mean? But without further ado, before we're taking too much time, if you would like a reading, go ahead and comment a relationship of a person that you want to speak to. Again, try not to put details in the chat, just put the relationship, and I will see who I am drawn to. If you hear my son in the background, I can hear my husband is struggling. So go ahead, guys. Hey, Leah, are you still here, hon? Leah, I think you, I think it said Leah, brother. Hi, Leah. Yes, I am feeling drawn to you. So, before I get started, just definitely wanted to let you know, for those of you, because I don't know when you came in, all of my lives get recorded on a recording here. I upload them to YT page. I can't say it because you can get banned. So I hope you're comfortable with that. If you want to talk in the chat, totally fine. If you want to come up in the little boxy guest thing, I'm fine with that too. What else? And I'm just gonna bring some evidence to see if we can connect with brother. Let me know if we are connected with him or not. If we are not connected with him, we can try and redirect it. You'll come up? Okay, awesome. Let me see. There we go. Cool. Let me see if I can hear you. Says it's loading. Hi, Leah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Awesome. Last time I was like, I can't hear you. I'm like, oh, my volume is all the way down. Sorry. But how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course. Oh, of course, of course. Listen, it's not me. It's who spirit draws me to. It's so when people ask, they're always like, what's draw to? And I'm like, once I see names, I'll close my eyes and a name will just keep repeating in my head. And then I'll look up and usually their name is right there again. So that's kind of when I feel like I feel pulled towards a certain person. Which is why I tell you guys to comment as many times, because it could be anybody.
Right.
It's just, whatever, I get drawn to. So thank your spiritual realm. Don't thank me. I didn't pick out of a hat or anything. So are you comfortable with me uploading this on the YT page? I mean, it's not like you're certain, it's not like your last names are on here or not, but I always say that just in case.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to get some bits of evidence. I'll come back here, I'll spit them out, and you will let me know if we are connected to your brother, okay?
Okay.
All right, feel free to write anything down if you need to, but again, you can always go to the live recording and always, go back and listen to it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Oh no, my son. Okay, all right, let's see. Can you guys hear him? Is he like that loud?
I can.
You can. I am so sorry, guys.
No,
He's
I totally
super
get it.
whiny. He had such a late nap today, and his brother-in-law's just left, and he's not very happy because he loves them.
Oh.
Yes, they're pretty young. They're like 9 and 10, and
Oh, fun then.
yeah,
A lot of fun.
he was having a blast with them all day. He's pissed. Okay. Okay. All right. So I do have a younger male here. I do feel as though I am someone who oof, okay. So would your brother have passed in a physical type of way? Like I for some reason I'm getting back pain. It's kind of like back pain in my right side. I feel as though I have like some type of stiffness in the body as well. It's coming off as like some type of a shock. I feel as though this was definitely something that people wouldn't have seen coming.
Yeah.
I do feel some type of head dizziness as well. He was also showing me sports, so I don't know if he was also a sports person as well. He's kind of showing me like different things here, and I feel as though this was also how his mind may have been, to where he would like kind of be all over the place with things, and like kind of like when he would talk, like his stories don't like, because again he's kind of like, well, this and then this and then this, and it's like then all of a sudden I get a shoot of pain in my back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guy, like let's do one thing at a time here. So would this make sense for your brother?
Yes, yeah, 100% with,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go off of a limb here before I go. So did he pass in some type of tragic way? Because if he did and aren't comfortable talking about it, we can kind of skip over that. Or are you okay with everything that may have come forward?
It wasn't tragic.
It wasn't
I mean,
tragic
it
or
was
anything? Okay.
tragic. It was tragic in a sense that was very unexpected. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. I just always ask before, especially since we're on live and you're talking kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So you think it's brother, so we can keep connecting here.
Mhm.
I feel as though your brother really didn't have he had a strong personality.
Yes.
I also feel as though he's kind of shown me that like people knew when he was like in a room. I feel as though he wasn't like he doesn't take me off as someone who's kind of like drawn into the background.
Right.
That makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
Was he also kind of rebellious as well?
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Were you also like, were you kind of the opposite in that sense? Because he's kind of making fun of it, and I don't know if he made fun of you often. But he's kind of like making fun, like he's kind of saying like the goody two shoes kind of a thing. So I don't know if like he made fun of like either you being like simple or like being like more like follow the rules kind of a person. But he's kind of just like saying like he's kind of just making fun of you.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, he seems like a very funny person.
Yeah.
He I feel as though people were drawn towards him. And but I feel as though also like it seems like a lot of people gravitated towards him, but I feel as though he may have only actually had specific people he can actually trust in his life.
Yeah.
Um so he's shown me towards his passing. Was there he's kind of showing me that there was like a glimpse of like hope. And it's kind of like things like kind of like went up and then all of a sudden it went back down again.
Okay.
As if there was like a glimpse of like things maybe getting better and then it just kind of like went down, just like this, oh, you know, maybe we can get through this kind of a thing, and then it's kind of just feels like the rest just then it like tanked. It was kind of like a little peak and then it went back down. Would this make sense?
Yeah, that
Which
does
is
make
kind of
sense
crazy
in
because
relation
before
to
he even
something.
says, yeah, before he even says this, he had me draw this. So and that's kind of like the way he's making me feel right now.
Okay.
Um he was also making me feel like very hot and sweaty. So I feel as though there was a lot of anxiety around this as well, because he's also making me feel very shaky. I feel like I'm very shaky even in my voice. I'm shaky in like my gut feeling. I feel as though I can't really catch my breath. I feel like I'm kind of gasping a little bit here.
Okay.
So is any of this making sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know when you want me to explain it or
I mean,
like
you can
some things.
explain it whenever.
Okay.
That's up to you whether you want me to keep going and see what I can come up with it.
Okay. As for like the shaking and stuff, like we can't, I know he got like that too, like with nervousness before stuff. Like that's why I said I'll come up because I can't type like, like because
No,
I'm
I
in
make
this
makes
moment,
sense and
like
I
I'll get
appreciate
shaky
it.
and sweaty. Um, that's for the passing, like the glimpse of hope. Something happened with him few years prior where it was a really close call for him and life was, normal and everything. And then this passing happened out of the blue with like unknowing. So like that's kind of how I relate to that. And there's another way I could relate to that too,
Okay.
that what was going on right before his passing. But
Okay. Whew.
but everything you're saying is like so spot on with stuff, just to let you know.
He's doing good. He is doing good. He's good at painting a picture too. So he's also shown. So I think he's talking about like his rebellious side a little bit. Was he did he do anything like dangerous?
He was just kind of crazy, like like growing up, he did some things that were pretty dangerous, like taking my mom's car and speeding down the road,
Yeah,
like things
because
like that.
he's kind of like referring. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here, but he's referring to himself as like a badass, and I feel as though that was also his attitude here. Like he would talk highly about himself, but I feel as though he talked highly about himself outside because I don't think it's not like he was like. I don't think he truly like felt that way. It's kind of like more like a running joke, like, "Oh, I'm such a badass," but I don't
Yeah.
think he actually truly felt that way about himself. I feel as though he kind of liked looking cool, and he thought that there was like big humor in that.
Yep, exactly. He was always just looking for to have a good time, like, not truly like a bad person or
Yeah.
anything. He just
I
like always
I
wants
feel
to
as though
mess
he
with you.
actually had some physical insecurities, but like so nonchalant. Like I feel like he was a good-looking guy,
Oh
but
yeah,
he
for
had
sure.
such physical insecurities for himself to where like he's driving me nuts, and I'm like,
Yeah, yep.
bro,
Always
why?
messing with his hair and
I'm like,
like, yeah,
why? I'm
for
like,
sure.
why? Why? Like, even his height, for instance, he's like, I don't know, like, why he's talking about himself this way or he's like insecure in this way. I'm like, you're a good looking guy. Like, what are you complaining for? It's kind of like, why are you complaining about something that doesn't need to be complained about? And I just feel as though he just didn't, like, he just was that kind of a person. Like, and I see that as like, he was very humble.
Hmm.
But I feel as though it still could get to an annoying side to where it was like he, again, like you said, like he just cared so much about his looks, but like he wasn't like he was a good looking guy. So it was like those guys you see in the movie and they're like, oh, I'm so not good looking, and it's just like, what? Like if
Yeah,
you're not good looking, then what am I? Kind of a thing.
yeah, I don't think he
Um,
talked about it too much, but yeah, I just
and that's what I'm
remember like
saying.
growing
Yeah,
up, I would do his gel his, he would sit there and gel his hair in the same spot like
yeah.
forever before leaving the house and stuff like that. But yep.
I feel as though too, like he talked a big game. Did he talk a big game with like saying like with like just like with relationships, but he wasn't in that many relationships? It kind of makes I don't know, it kind of seems like he would talk like, but like he's kind of giving me the instance that like he would talk about like talking to someone like about things, but then it's like you would not have like kind of the balls to go and do it actually in like real life kind of a thing.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like he would
Not, he's
talk.
gotten in, he had serious relationships, like if we're talking about growing up and stuff, but yeah, he
Yeah, I
wasn't
feel like
like in
he,
and out of
yeah.
a lot of them.
And that's exactly like it's kind of like when he gets to it, it's kind of like he actually chokes up. Like he can't actually, like he talks a big game, but I feel like he was such an emotional type of person. He was so emotional, and but it's just like again, he tries to portray himself not to be. He tries to portray himself as like this big manly man,
100%.
but he's very emotional,
Oh
and I
yeah.
feel as though very protective of. I feel like maybe even because of mom, but definitely because he had a sister, like he was very protective of women, very loving to women in a sense, and that like that's a good thing. I mean, I feel like men sometimes need a woman in their life, like their sister or their mom, to be able to be like good to women.
Hmm.
Um, but I definitely think he was like a family oriented person. I do see like a closeness with the two of you as well. Um, whew, um, was he also he's showing me like education. So was he into like was he like smart or something with education? He's just showing me different educational things. He's showing me, so I don't know if he like gravitated more towards something or something with his job when it comes to like educational components. Like like show me. Usually when people show me education, they'll show me like pencils, they'll show me like shapes, they'll show me certain symbols that would lead to like education of some sort or like some like intelligence when it comes to like book smart kind of a thing.
Hmm.
The word.
He didn't go to college or anything after school, but he was very smart with how he talked to people and everything. I mean, at his job, he was really like climbing the ladder there.
Okay. Do you know if his job would do anything when it come to like numbers?
Nah, he
No.
was in the office. I don't, not specifically to numbers. No, not like accounting or anything like
Okay.
that.
I'm gonna write that down. So I don't know if there was some type of graphing or numbers, but he's definitely showing me some type of symbols there. So I will circle that for you. Let me know if that makes sense later on. So he's bringing up birds. Have you seen birds recently or gravitate towards birds when it comes to certain aspects?
I have been paying attention to certain birds. Yeah.
Okay, because he's telling me that he visits you with birds. And I don't know if you also see like birds come in pairs.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have like what specific kind, or is it just birds? Like you're kind of just hearing birds.
um, he just said the word birds, but let me see if he can show me. I don't know why. I kind of feel like I'm drawn more towards something with like blue.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like blue jays, bluebirds, but something blue.
Okay.
When it comes to birds. So I don't know if that makes sense for you.
It does. It did after his passing. I was seeing
Okay.
them around my yard and stuff. Recently, it's been more of like big birds that I kind of been seeing more. But
Oh, for sure. He's definitely visiting you those. But I feel as though he had such a playful side to him as well.
yes.
And I feel as though he still carries that on onto the other side. I feel as though he does things to mess with you. Do things move around? Or like things like come up and you don't know how it came, or like things go missing? Because I feel as though he also messes around with you as well.
Okay. I will pay more attention
Keep
to
that in
it.
mind.
I've always
Yeah, I
been
think.
wondering like what signs he has had.
Yeah, because
Um,
he's so, and if that's a question you've been asking yourself, that's why all of this is coming up.
okay.
Um,
Yes. That's actually what
it
I was going to
feels as
ask you.
though he has like childlike tendencies to him.
Yep.
And I feel as though that carried on the other side as well. I don't know if you ask yourself question this because this doesn't always come up, but he is saying he's at peace.
Oh my
I feel as
gosh.
though he had like a lot of I don't know if it's towards the end, but there was a lot of like anxiety around like, you know, the afterlife. But he is at peace, and I don't know if that's I feel like you have big grief when it comes to him. I feel as though you have like a really heavy heart.
Yeah.
And I feel as though it's kind of like you like that like emptiness. But he just does want you to know that like he's totally at peace. And I don't know if you ask him this, but like he's around, like he knows the things that you go around and do.
Hmm.
And he's talking about this. He's talking about that. I don't know if you talk to him like actually out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know if do you also kind of talk out loud when you're by yourself or even like in your car?
Yeah.
Because he's talking about it, he says like when you are actually talking out loud to him, he is right there with you and he is answering you. He's having a conversation with you like he would be here in the physical world. And although you can't hear it, I feel as though you still have a sense that he's around, and it's kind of like you can understand what his answers would be in these moments. But I feel as though a lot of the questions you have had are coming up here. And I feel as though he's talking that like you were meant to kind of like, listen, I'm not going to sit there and try to say like people were meant to come here. Like I feel as though you kind of wouldn't simply like kind of come across something like this.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
don't
kind
think
of.
you've came across me before.
Nope, tonight was my first time coming across you after his passing is kind of when I came across this stuff more. Like I've known about it, but I never really understood or like looked into it,
It
obviously.
made you more
And I,
curious.
oh, for sure. I felt
And
like I
that's what
was
happens.
having a spiritual awakening before like
Oh yeah, people have a
this
spiritual
happened.
awakening when people leave us. Yes. Because it
So,
makes us more open to the possibilities of the other side, and that's what a spiritual
mhm.
awakening is. It's kind of like, I don't know, like again, and I have a lot of loved ones who will be like, when I was here in the physical world, I wouldn't have even believed you. I would have thought you were like a quack.
Mhm.
And then,
Yep.
then they, cross over and they're like, I don't know why I wasn't open to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
but I feel as though people hold on to hope, and that's why it makes them so curious about the spiritual world. And I feel as though that kind of draws them to this stuff because of the
Oh yeah.
curiosity and the holding on to hope that they aren't gone forever. And he's not
Exactly.
gone forever.
Yeah.
He's still very much around you. And he's kind of saying that he has like front row seats now. He has front row seats to your entire life. Um, if you don't have kids, he is talking about kids. He's talking about children, and he's talking about like going to be there to like mess around with kids. Um,
Mm.
I don't know. Did you answer me about the sports part? Did he like sports, and more specifically like very like contact sports? Like he's even showing me like maybe even something along the lines of like soccer.
Football. Football. He was big football fan.
Okay. Yeah, he's kind of talking about like your kids, so I don't know if you have kids yet or you're going to be having, well,
Yes.
obviously you might.
I do have 3 kids.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if they're also in sports, but
Yes.
he's kind of talking about like running alongside of them with the sports.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
or even when they're just playing, he's definitely talking about running alongside of them. Were any of your children actually, I feel as though they're on younger side.
Yeah. He
Um,
he has kids too.
I feel as though someone, child wise, is actually questioned about, like, had questions about the other side, or even, kind of made you think twice about, like, what they said, and, like, they may have brought him up or talked about him or questioned him. I feel as though one is actually more sensitive to the other side and does feel him around.
I
Um,
was wondering that about my 2-year-old because he like said he's been saying things like ghost or something randomly when
oh
we're
yeah,
just sitting there
it's
playing
him.
and he's like
It's
looking
him.
over in the corner and stuff.
It's
Or
him.
like
Hmm
yeah,
It's him.
he's
And I
like
told you all of the questions that you have had, he wants you to hear here. And they don't do that often. A lot of times our
you are
questions
good.
aren't always answered, but like you've been questioning that. That is exactly why he's bringing it up. There is a younger child who he is around and senses him more.
You are
It's definitely
like
him, but he's
answering.
sensitive.
I was just yesterday was like, are you at peace? Are you at peace? Are you at peace? And then you like brought that up, like,
No, he's at
because
peace.
I've taken a break from like watching this on TikTok and stuff for a while, and I kind of because I have a busy life and
Yeah.
and then I've had a moment yesterday where I was just like repeating it, because this stuff
Mhm.
does bring you peace, like because when you can
Yeah.
hear other people on here and
No,
like it kind of
100%. It
validates
does.
it for
It
you.
gives you hope. That's all
Mhm.
us humans, we gravitate towards hope, because hope is, the only thing that we can hold on to sometimes, because so many things are unknown in this world, and hope is the one thing that can keep people moving forward. And most people who go down into like deep depression or the negative parts of life, it's because they've lost hope. So hope drives us. Hope is what keeps us going, and hope is one of the cures of grief. It keeps us going on and on and on and on, and it heals us. And I always say that, and I say this is why I get drawn to people here on live. So for anyone who doesn't understand why I pick some people or not, it's literally spirit telling me who needs to hear this, and it has everything to do with you having so many questions, and you even have that moment to like you have to take a break because things aren't working out and you haven't been able to hear from him. He's like, okay, fine. He's like, I'm here.
Oh my
And he's
goodness.
answering all the questions that you have. And he
Mhm.
wants you to know that you don't need to do this in order for you to know that he's there. He is around. And I feel as though he's like, you always thought I was annoying when I was there, like, and now you keep bugging for me to come around. So I feel as though you guys had such a good like relationship dynamic. I feel as though you also like cat fought a lot. He's
Oh
talking about
yeah.
like the bickering.
Yeah, but
Um,
like playing around,
Oh
like it's
yeah,
fun, you
100%.
know?
He's like even if we would bicker, like 10 minutes later we'd be like, "Hey, so you want to go shopping?"
Yeah.
Like it would be
Yep.
something like that.
Exactly.
Like you guys wouldn't sit there and like have fights that like you wouldn't talk to each other for years. Like I
Right.
feel as
Yep.
though like family was so important to you, like to where it was like sometimes you would fight and then be like, "What were we fighting about?"
Yep. Exactly.
Um,
We'll talk about it like in the future, whatever.
yeah,
Like
we'll talk about it for 3 years from now and we'll
give
laugh
shit to
about
each.
it, eating
Right.
French fries and drinking milkshakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
Oh yeah, he's talking about it before. Was he also kind of a Did he collect things at some point?
Oh goodness. Nothing's like popping out to me about
Yeah,
like
because he
Pokemon
was
collecting.
showing me like cards.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Pokemon. We
yeah,
all call
okay, okay, yeah,
Pokemon.
because he was showing me collectors and he was showing me like cards, but they didn't look like sports cards because immediately I would draw into sports cards. So like I didn't know what it was, but Pokemon cards make sense. Um,
Childhood things.
yeah, he was just talking about, he was just like, I had like a nerdy side to me too.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah, and do you know if Pokemon cards, do they have like a circle in the middle? Because like that's the cards he was showing me. It was like a card and then like some type of circular and kind of like a line separating the two cards. I don't know Pokemon cards like that, but I drew a picture of it. So when you get my doodles after this, when I send it to you, there's a picture, so
Okay.
you can Google what a Pokemon card looks like and go for it.
Sounds good.
um, but I feel as though one of your kids or his kids is also going to gravitate towards collecting of some sort, maybe even specific collecting of Pokemon. But I feel as though he's like, they get that from me. He's kind of like high in pride. Like, I feel as though there is going to be a kid that gravitates towards like you saying like, wow, you're just like him. Wow, you're just like him, like a mini him.
Okay.
Um, does someone do any writing or like diary or journal or some type of writing? Because he's also shown me like some type of like spiral book.
Okay. I started when he passed, but I
Okay.
stopped.
He's talking about it. I think he wants you to keep going with that because I feel as though you were also learning a lot of things about yourself doing it when that wasn't even your intentions. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel as though you started writing things down, but you started at kind of finding yourself and finding things about yourself. And it was kind of like you were recognizing patterns. And like, I feel as though that journaling was like a really good outlet for you. And I feel as though he wants you to continue with that.
Okay. Thank you.
I also feel as though in general, he wants you to kind of start finding more time for yourself. I feel as though with all your grief and, just mom life in general, I feel as though you don't take a lot of time for yourself. You don't focus on yourself. You kind of focus on the people around you. Kind of like he's like, some more self-care, finding things to do for yourself, like maybe hobbies and stuff like that. I feel as though you need to focus on you and stop not stop, like, because we can't stop because we're moms, but like we can't lose ourselves.
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel as though kind of like that whole like he's kind of like talking about like finding your pink again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think he wants you to do that. He definitely wants, I feel as though he just wants you happy, and I feel as though he always wanted you that even here. I feel like he was a very protective brother over you.
Mm.
But I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he just seems young, but I don't know if he's like a younger brother to you, but he kind of shows me as like he was like this immature, sometimes like childish like figure, but like he acted like this big macho protector of you.
He's my older brother.
Okay.
But I would say like he could act.
He has like a young immature, like you were definitely more mature than him. He was
And I
very
think that's kind of
immature.
goes back to what you said in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he
oh,
was
she's a
very,
goody two shoes. But I was fun too. I mean, I'm fun too. He's just more like
yeah.
crazy, I guess.
No, he was definitely more on the like immature side of things, but he was
Yeah.
very protective of you.
Mhm.
And I feel as though, are you married?
Yeah.
I feel as though he actually got along with your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. they did.
They were like friends. Like they weren't just like brother-in-laws. They were like friends.
Yeah, for sure. It's been hard with him gone. Like he was someone that we really looked forward to going to hang out with, you know.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
when we hung out, we're a really, really close family and all, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
because the
it's like
grief is not just with you and you alone. Like I can feel your husband's grief as well. Like they were close. I feel as though he's kind of saying that he feels at peace because he left you with your husband, and he knows that your husband is going to continue to protect you the way that he did here. And he finds comfort in that. He kind of is like feeling like he's making me feel choked up. I'm not going to start crying, but he's making me feel that way because I feel as though he wasn't such a mushy person sometimes. And I feel as though he didn't
yeah.
say certain things that he wishes he said out loud. Like, I feel as though he didn't get mushy, but he's kind of feeling mushy in the sense to where he's like, And the realization, he all jokes aside, dark humor aside, he's very happy that, you have what you have in your husband with like the protection of things. But he still has the funny side to him too. I'm like, will you pick? Because
What did he say?
now he's making jokes. He's like, and her brother knows, her husband knows I will still kick his ass. I don't know if,
Yes.
but I'm like,
Oh
you were just
goodness.
getting
Like you're
mushy
getting me
about
all
him 5
teary-eyed
seconds.
and laughy. Like I just feel like so at peace hearing you talk. Like I
He's like,
just
I
know it's
can't.
him.
I cannot. He's literally, it was just getting all mushy. I'm like, really? This is your defense mechanism. You still haven't figured this out on the other side.
Oh.
Like you stopped the mushiness to go and throw jokes again. Weren't you just, oh my God, I can't. But,
Mm.
did he often, like, he's also telling me that he would often, like, talk about, like, fighting people, like, I'll fight you, like, his
Yep.
strength and, like, it's such a man thing to do. What is wrong with men? I will never understand.
He was very tall.
Oh my gosh,
And just like
that's why I
he was,
talked
he was
about
kind of a
earlier.
big
He
guy.
talked about his height. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, you're too much. All right. Um. Oh yeah, he was a beautiful soul though. I also don't know. He's talking about flowers too, so I don't know if this was flowers for him or you just connect with flowers. You like flowers. He wants to bring up flowers as well. Um, like blooming flowers.
Oh, I'm horrible with flowers. I mean, I'm standing right next to some flowers that my husband just got my daughter tonight. But
Flowers. Yeah, he's showing me flowers, but like, and I asked like a color, and he's kind of showing me that like there is not one solid color. And I feel as though they're different types of flowers, but in a bunch that he's talking about. Like it's not one significant flower; it's like multiple flowers in kind of like a bouquet form and
yes.
like a bunch. But
Yeah.
he's bringing them up.
Is it because I'm just like standing right next to them?
Could be, and he's like, I'm right here. It
Oh
could be.
my
It's
goodness.
whatever you resonate with, whatever I am talking about. But he's definitely showing me.
Wow. It's amazing.
He's is someone's birthday coming up or some soon
Oh,
or someone's
oh,
birthday past? He's showing me a birthday cake.
his wife's birthday is coming up, I think, in March.
Well, that might be
So,
his way of trying to tell you to like tell her happy birthday from him because he is showing me a birthday cake. Usually that means that a birthday is soon. So definitely message me if you find out her birthday is coming up because I do see a significance of a birthday that is
I
very
mean,
close
it is in
by.
March. It's in March. Could
Okay.
that be? I
Birthday's
mean,
coming
it's
up.
next month.
And it could just be his way of trying to say, tell her I said happy birthday.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he told me birthday cake and then he kind of put a square around it. It's kind of funny. So I don't know if he's like also sending her like a birthday card. Interesting
Oh,
though. Again, they have me draw certain things and I don't realize it in the moment. But I did enjoy talking with him. I do feel that he is starting to like pull away. Um, do you have any questions before I let him, send his love back to you?
you answered so many questions during the reading, but my main one was signs. So,
Signs, yeah, and you have to sign. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be stuff. And please also let me know what you figure out. Like, I don't know if he's just talking about like your things, like he's messing with you, like a child, like messing with you. But
okay.
the big ones is the birds. So keep looking out for those birds. Most of the time when loved ones come to us in birds, it's in pairs. And for him, he really was drawn towards like the blue. That's the one he told me. Um,
Okay.
so I
Awesome.
know they've already been coming to you, but now they're probably going to come to you even more because you're going to notice them even more.
Awesome.
Um,
Oh,
but yeah, no, thank you so much. Again, I know how vulnerable it is to be on a reading with other people, watching. Always refer back to the videos. I will upload them by the end of tonight on the YT page. I will also send this picture to you. I have your name on it, so I know it belongs to you. Enjoy my doodles in horrible handwriting because I don't see when I'm writing. I kind of am looking off somewhere else and I write. So sorry in advance if you have to try and read this.
oh,
But the one thing you couldn't connect with was the whole shapes and graphing. I don't know what it is. I drew the picture of the things that I was seeing, so maybe it's a picture of something. I'm not sure.
okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm glad you resonated with everything else. Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave his love and light with you now, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much. That
You're
was
welcome.
amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely, you're
Have a
welcome.
good one.
Thank you. Oh, guys, that was awesome. Oh, he was such a great soul. Oh, he was funny. He gave me energy for the rest of the night, guys, I swear. Oh, wow. All right, guys, let me see if I can go back and read a few more things and see what you guys were saying during the reading. I don't know how far back it is. Let's see. Okay. Do you do pets in spirit? I've had pets going on, like come through during a reading, but I've never actually like sat down and tried to connect with a pet. But I'm open to do anything. You know, I can't guarantee what the outcome will be, but hey, you never know if you can do something until you try. So that's what I always tell people. So we could try, but they usually sometimes will come up during a reading. And someone shortly after you commented and said hi, and it says pet medium. Oh, thank you, Brooke. That's so sweet to say. It really is with my son in the other room because I feel like it's all moms, and it's like when a baby cries after you have a baby, it's like worse than like nails on a chalkboard. And it's like it takes everything in you not to go and comfort them. And it's how I am, and I'm trying to learn. Literally this year is what I've been trying to learn, is to like sit down, have time to myself to do this. This is the one thing, guys, by the way, that I do for my free time. I get one thing of free time usually after work, and this is what I choose to do in my free time. So yeah. I do it for you guys. So it's really hard for me not to just say, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna go, and my husband's like, no, you need time for yourself. This is what you want to do. I got it. So my son is also trying to like hear me here. I mean, it is hard because he can hear me. But he's a breastfed baby, if that doesn't also tell you guys something. Oh, wow. All right, so I think I answered a lot of the questions that were said during the reading. Oh my God, thank you guys so much for the likes. Oh my God. I'm shocked I have not even seen that. I didn't even know it could go up that high. Thank you guys so much. Shayna, thank you so much, guys. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Susie. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah. And I always feel bad, especially if I'm in the middle of a reading, because I'm just like, oh, I want to focus all my time and attention to a reading. And it always makes me so nervous that I'm like gonna ruin my connection with spirit. What caused my awakening? I did explain it earlier, but it was the birth of my son. Again, I was always sensitive growing up, and the birth of my son just kind of made it worse. And again, fear, I tried pushing it away, guys. I would say the spiritual awakening happened April of 2024, and I didn't actually start doing things until a year later. That's when I actually, it took me a year of pushing it away, trying to come up with other excuses, and then finally doing research, talking to the healer, trying to shut it off, then doing more research, then, talking to other mediums and getting advice, and, them trying to teach me how to control things. And I started going on TikTok Live this year, I want to say, because I started doing readings through Facebook, F-book groups, without getting banned on here. And they, it was just time-wise, it was hard because it would kind of be like you would make a post say, hey, anyone want to swap, anyone want to practice here and there. And then I would sit and wait and wait and wait, and by the time someone would answer me, I'd be like, well, I only have 5 more minutes now. So then I, kind of thought, I was like, wow, if I go on TikTok live, I could just do it, bing, bang, boom, and then be done when I have to go. It took a lot of nerves though, because I was very nervous for many reasons to go on TikTok live. I was very nervous about negative comments. I was very nervous about how it would go speaking to someone through a phone and not having like a face-to-face like Zoom like I was used to. But I was like, you never know unless you do it. What were you scared about? I was scared about bringing anything negative through. Again, my spiritual awakening started with seeing spirits in my home. So I also recently, I think it was like 4 months after I had also bought my new home. So I thought maybe my house was haunted. And I was physically seeing spirits that also did not look like people. Like they looked like people, but they looked like how they died, if that makes sense. And I don't know what I can say on here, but I did have some wounded, pretty graphic spirits come to me while I was wide awake in my home, usually around like 2-3 a.m. with a newborn. And I was more nervous about bringing in anything negative and harming my son and having something attached to me, attached to my son. I didn't know how to protect myself. So that was like the fear I had. So what did I do? I actually immediately went to a healer. I intended to go to her to try and shut things off. She talked about how she was able to like cleanse my home, which she found nothing wrong with my home. There was no spirits in my home. It was all me. And she taught me how to protect myself. That's who taught me all the protection I needed. And we tried to shut it off. We tried to turn it off. And it actually amped things up for me. Just because I think I had put it off for so many years. And so many years, spirits have been trying to give me signs like I needed to do this. And I kept putting it off for the fear because I was so afraid of like negatives and evil kind of stuff. But I didn't realize that like as long as I protected myself and did research about it, that was like the number one thing for me. I didn't want to go into any of this until I learned how to protect myself, for the sake of me and the sake of my family and my son. So it took almost a couple months until I was actually comfortable diving into this, until I knew for sure that I knew how to protect myself first. And that's always my number one advice that I give to people who want to go into this. Do not go into any of this until you know how to protect yourself, because at the end of the day, that is truly what matters, is you and your protection. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming so. I tried pushing it off. I kept saying like, no, I don't want to do this. I went to I had a party before and I saw a psychic medium and she told me I was supposed to do this and I was just like, not for me. I'm too scared. But it kept coming back into my life. It kept coming back, and they always say the things you're meant to do will keep coming back in your life, and it kept coming back. It's just a story I understand it for you. Yeah, and again, guys, I'm trying to work on actually posting my entire journey and how I got into this and the details of everything. I swear I will do it one day when I find time. Do you have problems getting overwhelming in public? So I did in the beginning, but after learning how to protect myself and how to turn it on and off. So some mediums are okay with being open 24/7. After a lot of teachings from me and a lot of research, I have learned that us mediums, our energy gets drained very quickly. And I feel as though sometimes if you leave your abilities on and you leave yourself open to spirit 24/7, you become very drained, because it takes a lot of energy out of you, because that's what spirits drive on. They drive on energy. The higher your energy, the closer the connection, the more energy you have, the more spirits that can come through. And I've been told that, this could also affect you long term, is the longer that, you allow spirit to drain your energy, the more it can affect you, your health issues, your aging process, your lifespan. So that's something I definitely didn't want to do. And I also I didn't want it to consume my life, especially because I have a child here. I didn't want to be in a grocery store and just open him up susceptible to like other spirits and anything that can be clinging on to other people as well. You got to think the people that were also around could also have any negative things tied to them as well. So I learned how to turn it on and off. So that's why when I sit here in silent, when I first start here, it's me opening up. I've come into terms with my meditation on how to turn it on and how to turn it off, and that's part of the whole protective process that I always recommend people doing immediately. Well, thank you so much, Isabel. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, and again, however people want to do, what they do, I always encourage people, to go ahead and do this. Again, I literally don't think that I feel as though it's not like specific people that get chosen. I feel as though it's just whoever's sensitive and open to this kind of thing, someone who is kind of into it, and has everything about how you go about it. And it's always my number one thing is protection. Spirit coming at me again. When it first happened, I was very scared. I was on my couch. Us moms, when they're newborns, we don't sleep in our beds. 9 times out of 10, we sleep on the couch next to a bedside, bassinet, and we just try to survive, okay? And that's what I was doing. I was living on my couch trying to survive the newborn trenches, and yeah, it made my body freeze, and I didn't like the feeling at all. I felt terror, and I felt frozen, and it was weird because it was the spirit, and they were looking at me, and they were talking, but nothing was coming out. And it was because I could see spirit, I could acknowledge they were there, but I didn't know how to actually communicate with them. And that's why the mouth was moving, but nothing was coming out. And I will never forget the image. It is buried in my mind, and it just reminds me of why I'm so grateful to have the protection that I have and being able to turn it on and off, because nobody wants to be woken up at 3 a.m. like that. I don't recommend it. And if that is happening to you, you got to protect yourself. You got to turn it off. And yes, our babies always come first. That was literally my number one every single time. I would so do it if it was just me, but at the time I had my baby, and I was like, I do not want to do this to him. I don't want to put him in harm's way. Absolutely not. I was like, hell no. I've been told that psychic mediums may feel drained and the energy in the room can feel good. Yeah, and again, some mediums feel certain things when they are surrounded by spirit. I specifically, and I have heard from another mediums, they feel this as well. When I feel spirit is around, it actually kind of feels like hairs or spider webs on your body. It kind of feels like a hair fell on me or like my face, and it's kind of like spider webs. And like that's the atoms of like the spiritual world. I don't know how else to describe it, but like that's how I feel when I know I'm connecting with spirit. For me, for instance, I feel as though I left the medical world because I loved the medical world. I loved working in a hospital. I worked night shift. I worked 12-hour shifts. I absolutely loved it. But I'm telling you, this was all prior to me knowing that I had my abilities, and I was drained, guys. I was drained. And I took every person who passed so personally, and I felt the emotions of the family, and I stuck by with the family. I would walk the families to their cars, and people would tell you, hey, it's a job. You got to be able to separate your personal life from your job life, and all this, that, and the other. And I know it's amazing to have healthcare workers that are personable with you, but it was draining me. I started going into a really deep depression, even though I was loving what I was doing. I was loving, having patients and making them feel good and taking care of them. And I loved that aspect. I really did. But it was draining me, and I didn't know why. And now I know it's because I was always an empath. And my energy I could literally feel what my patients were feeling, and it was draining me. It was literally draining me. And then 2020 came around, and healthcare got really bad. People got understaffed. I feel as though healthcare started to become insensitive to a lot of workers. I feel like there was a lot of burnout. So there was a lot of nurses that were feeling overwhelmed, and it was breaking my heart seeing how some patients were being treated, how some patients weren't allowed to have their loved ones in the hospital with them. And it broke my heart, and I got severely depressed, and I ended up having to leave for other circumstances as well, because of a certain protocol that 2020 was causing us to do, without me actually saying on here and getting banned. But I will say immediately after I left the healthcare scene and went to something completely different when it comes to, like, now I'm a director when it comes to children. And although it's not something I saw myself doing, the immediate energy change in my life, in my emotions, in my overall well-being, my mental health, everything went up. And it's like, looking back now, I see it and I'm like, oh wow, that's why. That's why I felt so drained. That's why I felt so depressed. That's why I just couldn't figure out what was going on. Even though I was loving what I was doing, it was like my body wasn't loving what I was doing. And it was because my body was absorbing every negative thing in that place and everything that was going wrong. And that should have been a sign number one. Ooh, okay. All right, can you connect with my friends? You see spirits. So I see spirits more in my third eye. I don't see them directly in front of me. Again, I used to see them directly in front of me, but now I have them here because I don't let them affect my personal life. So now they are in my third eye. Most of the time I just see an outline of people. Sometimes if a spirit is pretty strong, I can, if they have a really high energy, I'm able to see more details in their life. So the symbols and stuff will be more detailed with me rather than just seeing an outline. So it's always different depending on what spirit I'm connected with in the moment. Right now my head is tingling. Oh, babe. Well, again, you have to be able to set that boundary whether you want spirit around you or not. Oh yeah, babies always come first. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Yeah, I didn't handle it. It's a new day. That's why I left. I completely left, and that's why. Yeah, empathy is the hardest. I mean, this is why I can't even watch videos. Like on TikTok, I watch videos and I'm sitting there crying. I watch movies and my husband's like, why does your face look like that? I'm like, because I'm into it. I'm here. I'm in the movie, okay? Like, it's happening to me too. He's like, you're like bawling your eyes out. I'm like, yes. Yes, and again, it's like you start feeling what your patients are feeling. Like you feel the sickness, emptiness, as if like it's your loved one being lost, and also having anxiety and all that didn't help either. And yeah, 2020 was just rough. Absolutely rough. See here, I'm feeling my furs are driven every time. So again, spirits don't come to me. It's a new days. I actually ask spirit to come forward. So I can explain it like this. I have a gate, basically. I have a gatekeeper. This is just how I protected myself. I have a gatekeeper, and when I am doing a live or a private reading with a loved one, I go up to my gatekeeper and I say, can you hand me so-and-so's loved one and so-and-so's loved one only, and bring them forward. They will open the gate, bring just that specific spirit loved one over. They will close the gate, and then I will walk that loved one over to my little picnic area that I have in my mind, and that's how I communicate with spirit. That's a little detailed version of kind of what goes on in my head. So again, when I feel that they're here with me, I start feeling a little bit of the tinglies on the face, like the spider webs. And then in my third eye, they kind of show me a silhouette of kind of what they look like. I kind of feel the energy, whether they're female or male. Sometimes it's always wishy-washy, because if there's a more feminine male, sometimes they can kind of seem more female to me, vice versa. But then they'll show me other features, whether it's their hair, whether it's just their build, whether, they're, taller, shorter, that kind of a thing. But most of the time they'll just be sending me symbols. So they'll send me symbols, they'll have words pop up in my head. And then sometimes I just have a clear cognizance to where it's just like I have a clear knowing. Like just looking at this person, I'm like, oh, you were a chef and you were, you did this for a living, you have this in your family, you have this, and it's just kind of like clear knowing. But other times it's just symbols that come to me, and a lot of the symbols I will draw because you never know how specific they're giving me things. But all right guys, so I'm glad I was able to answer some questions for you. If you did not get a reading from me, please feel free to send me a direct message. We can come up with thank you, it's a new day, thank you. Go ahead and send me a direct message. If you guys want to see all my live readings, they're always posted on the YT page. It's the same as my TikTok handle. My email as well is the same. They're both in my bio. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out through YT page or my email, you can direct message me here. Again, everything is uploaded on there so you guys can look. If you received a reading from me, feel free to please post on my feedback page. Again, I kind of just added that more in a recently note so that people can kind of show people how they thought about my readings. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a good night. I'm going to try and jump on to probably Monday. So we'll see if I can come on Monday. I usually come on around like 6:30-ish. So we'll see how that goes. But I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you so much for all the likes, guys, all the follows, everything. Make sure to send up some notifications for when I do go live. 9 times out of the 10, I try to make a post, but sometimes it's just spur of the moment like it was tonight. But thank you so much, guys. Yep, it was nice to meet all of you guys, too. Wish me luck with my toddler, who's probably now going to be so angry I ignored him this whole time. Have a good night, guys.